Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for frame arms, and we have the Vulture Custom or Vulture Kai. Now, I'm not too fond of recolors, but sometimes, especially for frame arms, when they make a kind of like an upgraded version or a custom, they changed the color scheme, plus they added some more stuff on it, which is great. And for this particular reason, I got the Vulture Kai. And I really like the Vulture. It's probably one of the solid frame arms kits that I've built, and hence why I didn't hesitate to get the custom. Right, so here's the box art. I got mine from AmiAmi, but depending, you can probably get it from other online stores as well. It's made by Kotobukiya. Here's the stuff here. Actually, let's see here. This retails about 4,200 yen, more or less about $45. Now, it is an expensive kit, and this, for those not familiar with frame arms, it's relatively the same as building a high grade in terms of Bandai kits, but you do have already pre-constructed inner frame, hence the name frame arms. You get and you just basically add on the parts to make a specific frame arms. So most of them have that basic basic inner frame. Anyways, that's about it for the box. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so first off, I'm gonna do a quick comparison with the first release of the Vulture. So this is the first one. It has some nice colors to it. It has pink, purple, and it's amazing. And the Vulture Kai, or Vulture Custom, has a different color scheme. It has a brown, black, and gray. And there's a couple of new things they've added. They've added this thruster. It's a different shoulder attachment as opposed to just this one, which has just that clear piece or clear blade thing on the shoulder. And you do have that part if you want to convert your custom Kai or your Vulture Kai into just regular version. And pretty much you can probably put or make this Vulture into a custom version by adding those to that. You can transfer them. They're all interchangeable, and that's one of the great things about the frame arms, or pretty much Kotobukiya kits in general. They have a common connection point. They use that 3mm peg connection, and they have allowed those add-on parts that you can use as well. So that's that. Otherwise, you're getting these two blades. So you get two of them. You still have that regular blade that kind of coils around this right here. So you still have this. It's kind of like a whip blade or something. But this one kind of just stashed on the back of the unit. So here, it's kind of awkward to how to put it on. I think it goes like this. Just slide it down and there we go. Yeah, the bird head on the back kind of gets in the way, and the hair as well, but that's pretty much how to store it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it or leave it with the custom. Probably just leave it out. You have two blades already there. Alright, that's that, and let's continue with the review. Alright, we have the Vulture here, and it looks really cool. Again, now the frame arms have a lot of different design. Some of them takes or kind of get it from certain animals. We have the Vulture here, and I think there was a werewolf or some mystical creature, I guess. But it's really cool. I really like the design. And so starting with the head here, you get some clear parts there, quite nice. There is an option though, right here. They give you this piece also. This is just all molded in. So I guess if you wish to paint it differently without bothering with the clear parts, so you have this piece right here. So that's nice of them to add that. Otherwise, you can move this side to side. Although the hair piece or whatever this thing on the back here, it does get in the way unless you start moving it to the side like that. There we go. And this thing is just pegged in on the plastic ball joint. I'm gonna take this out for the time being. Makes it a little bit easier. Then you have your shoulder articulation here. Quite nice. Then you got this huge booster. which you can take out and plug any kind of add-ons or even to the side here, which is really great. Now you can take this out, disassembled shoulder. It's kind of just, there's some tabs there, and you can put the clear green piece and make it the regular version. And again, you can put this to the regular Vulture. Otherwise, moving on, we have the bicep swivel here. You get your double jointed elbow. Again, I put this talons here, but in the instructions, you're not supposed to add this on until he's in the bird mode. But I kind of like to add it on here. Then you got your waist. You have this phallic part here. There's one thing about the waist, which is, it's kind of a bit weird, but you have this piece here that kind of pops out easily, but it does slide in there, and this kind of helps you for him to straight out or something. I don't know, just maybe just an added piece there, probably to hide that poly cap there. Yeah, but that's that. You have the bird on the back here, which for now it doesn't do anything, so we're just gonna leave it there. Then moving on to the waist, you got that peg, a straight peg right there. There we go. You got this piece here. You can swap it out with just a regular version, kind of like the regular Vulture. And there's actually another set of these, since the runner is duplicate. It's one of those double ones, which you can put on the Vulture. That way you can, if you want to put some more add-ons, again, that'll be great. And moving on, we have the knee here, and surprisingly has a good articulation, although you gotta have to make sure this fins here goes in the middle. That way you can bend this down. There we go. Although there is a limitation on how much we can bend. About 90 degrees. And it is double jointed, so depending on what you bend, you might get a bit more or less. The problem is this part here makes contact to the backside, and that's it. Maybe putting a certain angle, but yeah. But nonetheless, that's still a fairly good bend right there. It's not bad. Alright, so that's that part. You have your ankle articulation here. You have this kind of like a talon or a huge blade that slides out. And this kind of just pegs in front. So this does lock in place. But you have this swivel here. But I'm talking about right here. If you take this out, you can swivel that part there. So just depending on where they are, you might get a bit more articulation, or you might lock certain things. So yeah, this is really nice having that blade there, and you can even do like a dive kick. Really nice. So I think that's pretty much covers the articulation. Let's go over the accessories. Alright, so first off, we have the hands here. We have the closed fist. You're gonna get this open hand or just the relaxed hand right here. And lastly, you're gonna get this one to hold the weapons. So I've kind of shown this already with the Vulture. But you have this blade. It does straighten out, or if you prefer to kind of just loop it around. There we go. Stores on the back. It just kind of just use friction and just kind of hangs in there. It's a bit weird since you have this bird thing here. It kind of gets in the way, or it doesn't really lock. It has to be that. There we go. But I still think it's a weird way of holding this thing here. Let's put this here. So for the hand, it's a little different from Bandai's. Usually you have two parts that you kind of put together, or I believe this part here is kind of all together, and the back plate kind of opens up for you to put this. So it just varies. For this one, it slides up from the front. So put this on here. There we go. And put this back. This gives you a little bit more surface area for that thing, or for the pieces to hold together quite nicely. So there we go. Now we have the blade. This has a tendency to pop out. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, because of just how it is. It's simple, it works, and there you go. We're just gonna swap out the hand here. There we go. And one cool thing about the sword is you can kind of just bend this on the back here. Kind of like a nunchuck. So that's that. Otherwise, we can swap this out and use the other blades. So for the other blades, we got this really cool looking ones. It's quite nice. There's really no gimmick on this other than it's just a sword, or an energy beam sword here. This just pegs in here. There might be a little difficulty putting the other piece in there in between, but there's a good gap there that you just kind of hold it in place. There we go, and slide that in. There. Okay, got it. Let's do it with the other one. Where's that? There we go. So for the other one, I kind of want to put it on the other way. There's a cool pose that they've shown in the instructions. We're going to do it this way instead. These are interesting designs. That's one thing I like about frame arms, or Kotsubukiya in general. It's something different. And for those who enjoy building kits, definitely try out Kotsubukiya if you haven't, if you've just been building Bandai kits. They're a bit more expensive, but I think some of their designs are well worth giving a try. So there is a post where actually we have to remove this, where you kind of do a cross, a blade, and this just fall off again. Just bear with me. Oh, that's backwards. There we go. Almost there. It's just one of those times where you're doing a review and it just doesn't work the way you want it to. Anyways, it doesn't really usually cause that much problem. Just, I don't know, for some weird reason right now. Alright, so there's the one post like this. It looks cool. Yeah, you can do a lot of cool poses with this. Really nice blades. Oh, I probably need to work on my posing, but... And there it goes again. Alright, I managed to put everything there. Yeah, it's a really nice mold kit, and again, for most mold kits, it becomes a figure once you build it. It's nice. Now moving on, let's do the transformation. Alright, for the transformation, you have to revert back and use the closed fist. Alright, so we're gonna focus on that first. Unfortunately, to do this, you have to remove the arm guard. Or the forearm guard, so... No, sorry, back of the hand, whatever, the hand. And now we're gonna just peg that in, down there. There we go. And actually you can just use that as a weapon on its own. Alright, do the same thing for the other side. Take that out. Put that in. There we go. Then we're just gonna move this hands up, like so. And Actually, before we put it together, there's one thing we're gonna do with the head. We're gonna pop this front part out, and there's another peg right where the clear piece is, and slide this in. So basically, it just kind of closes down the visor. You move the shoulder forward. There we go. Kind of just put it together, and go like this. There we go. And actually flip this around too. This basically becomes the tail. Then you flip this shoulder upside down. Open this up. There we go. And we grab the neck. Bend this down a little bit. And now we're almost there. We're just gonna open this up here. There we go. Same thing on the other side. And we got our Vulture. Gonna just move the wings around a bit. There we go. It's a weird concept. And it's kind of weird having this booster right underneath. You would think it'll be better on the back side here. Yeah, I guess we don't really need a scratch in here, but that's pretty much it for the Vulture. Now the talons here on the back does help for him to stand. Just gotta find that sweet spot. This part here that's gonna get in the way, but you can move the wrist right there. There we go. And let's see here. You can kind of move the hands around. To get a certain pose. There we go. It's not bad. It does need a bit of detailing. Like in the pictures, the beak needs to be brown. I have to paint that. The boosters here needs to be silver. Yeah, so it needs a little bit of help, but nonetheless, it's nice. And I guess having the booster in the bottom, it's not a bad idea since you can get more instead of yeah. When he's flying, you got your boosters underneath, so you probably get more lift or yeah. It's a nifty concept. But I like it. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me just transform him back and conclude the review. Oh, I almost forgot something. You can mount this. And so instead of the waist, where's the waist? Right here. You can mount this on the booster now. And it's for him to kind of hold the swords while he's in the bird mode. So, there we go. It's a little odd, but that's how it is. And also, I forgot to mention that the clear pieces here, the bluish green, you do get just a clear version of those. And that's great for those who paint. Again, you can change it to whatever color you like. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for this review. It's a great kit. I highly recommend getting the Vulture Kai. And it's just nice. Or even if you already have the Vulture, it's a solid kit. It doesn't fall apart as much as the earlier frame arms released. And it's nice. And then having them both, you got your peanut butter and jelly. Anyways, that's about it for this review. If you have questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.